Okay, here we got a new construction floor. I'm going to walk you through step by step on the cleaning and buffing in the CDP Smooth Floor sealer. I've already done one section here. So now we're going to start with this one. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to pour the sealer out instead of spraying it to show you the different methods on that. So right now we're going to be cleaning it with the black pad, using the sealer to clean the floor. Okay, I poured out some sealer. Now broom it around really well. Make sure all areas are covered. Now once you get the sealer spread out and you get all areas covered, kind of walk through, you're going to see spots that are going to absorb in more sealer. So once you get it holding and maintaining a certain amount on the surface, now you can start scrubbing with the black pad. See here we got some rust, so we're going to have to do a little work on that, kind of buff all that out. Okay, because I was working on that rust spot, you can see other areas now. I'm trying to get it in the video for you. But you'll see spots like that one there, that's drying up. We want to put another application of sealer to keep it from completely drying out. So I'll dump some more sealer on. Want to make sure you keep it good and wet. When you're done squeegeeing, make sure you pull your scrubber and your pad off what you've just scrubbed, and make sure the pad's off the floor, where it's going to leave a round circle. Now we're going to squeegee this off and get it shot backed up. Now you can see all the grime that it's pulling out. Make sure you get it squeegeed up. When you're squeegeeing, try to make as little stops as possible. Oh, here's that rust spot right here that I did earlier. You can kind of see that's almost 100% all gone. About a week it'll completely dissipate. But if you watch how I squeegee, I try to not stop as much as possible. Okay, now that we've got it all squeegeed off, we're going to throw a white pad on, and we're going to go through and we're going to broom out any shoe prints or squeegee marks. Okay, now I'm going to mist on just a small amount of sealer. Use the low pressure sprayer. And you don't put on that much, just a real small amount. And you can see, get out of the shadows there, it's just a real, it looks speckled. It's just not even an even coverage. And then you're going to use your white pad on your scrubber to smooth it out. Now, here's what we're looking for. If you can see this white milky, try to zoom in on a little bit. That's the concrete dust coming out. And what you do is you don't want to work in that stuff. What you're going to do is you'll pull back to where it's dry and slowly work up to where the sealer is. And you want to keep doing this back and forth. What that's going to do is it's going to help pull that concrete dust, and it's going to collect it to the pad instead of leaving it on the concrete. So don't spend a lot of time where it's really milky looking, just on the edge where it's dry. And then you just slowly move up and pull it back. And then pull some more back, and you just keep working. Because if you buff that white, milky looking stuff in, you're going to have permanent swirl marks in the concrete from it. And a lot of times when you see this, it's just due to the fact that the concrete is extremely dry. Bits and pieces, you just take a little bit at a time. And this is why you do small sections to get started. So you can get an idea of how the sealer is going to react, how dry it is, how porous it is, how much it's going to absorb in, all the different things. And it's a lot easier to fix a small area than if you try to bite off more than what you can handle. I've been doing it for 20 years, and I still always start with a small section. because you can always see, like here, it's still pulling out concrete dust. So just take off a little bit at a time and pull it back to where it's dried up. And like I said, that's going to help it stick to the pad and get it off the floor. And remember, lift up to go right, down to go left. And then once you get the hang of how the sealer reacts, what the dry time is on it, you can start doing bigger sections. Once you get the hang of it, it's nothing to do 1,000 square foot at a time. And you just keep pulling it back to where it's dry, especially when it's really bad, milky looking. Grab a piece of it, and you come back where it's dry. You just kind of buff over it till it dries up. And it dries fairly quick. See that milky stuff there? So you just pull a little bit of it back and get into the dry areas. Okay, well, we've done a few sections here, so I'm going to go ahead and get all the rest of this cleaned up, get all the dirt and dust and everything off. When you're doing this, for some of you, it might be easier to go through and just power wash it, get everything off that you can possibly get off. You know, here's a little pile of dirt and stuff, but this is typical concrete or new concrete construction mess that's left behind. A few tire marks, nothing too terrible. So I'm going to go ahead and get this all cleaned and prepped, and then we'll start doing some more with the buffing and brooming. Just kind of show you different methods on that. Now, with cleaning, if you go ahead and power spray it first and get the worst of it, and basically when you power spray, all you're doing is cleaning the surface. That's it. So when you start applying the sealer, that's going to penetrate in and it's going to loosen up all that concrete dust. If they use calcium chloride, that's going to bring it out. If you use any kind of detergents or cleaners, that's all going to come out. Concrete dust is going to come out, and this is all after you power wash it. So even though you power wash it, you can get the surface to look clean, but in theory, all it did was allow everything to absorb deeper down into the pores of the concrete. So I'm going to go through and we'll get this all cleaned up and get it all prepped, and we'll go from there. Now, squeegeeing, so remember what I was saying earlier, try to do it without stopping as much as possible. So if you kind of pay attention to how I'm squeegeeing. Just kind of angle my squeegee and start windrolling it over towards my vacuum. one other thing, you can see now how the sealer's setting up. So all the sealer is setting on top. So it moves real nice. Kind of like I was saying before, with just using water. It takes a lot of water to get the concrete pores filled up to where it'll stay suspended without absorbing in. But you can see how it just kind of puddles up now, and you can move it. And all that muck is getting trapped in that excess sealer. Okay, now that we got that cleaned up, we're gonna fly over it real quick with that white pad. Get out our little squeegee marks that you can see there. So we'll fly over that real quick, switch out pads. And this, you just fly over it real quick. All right, on this section here, we got a lot of white, milky marks, shoe prints. Let's see if we can get that on video. A lot of it will just clean right off. So, and you can see I just kind of, you know, a little heavy, not real bad, it's just kind of speckled. Once you do that, then you take your scrubber and just kind of smooth it out. And you'll start working that concrete dust into the sealer. And this section was really dry. And that's why there's a lot of concrete dust over here. So I'll probably have to add some more sealer to it. But this is where you just, once you get it, well, I'll add some more sealer. Actually put it on pretty heavy this time just because it's so dry. And it's just really taking that sealer in. Now, when you do this, it's going to start getting milky on you because it's going to start working that concrete sealer up. So just kind of, for now, just, you know, get your sealer spread around using a white pad. And this is what we'll do here is, on where it's dry, we're going to start working it. You know, that method that I was talking about on the other earlier video. Hit it back here where it's dry and slowly ease into it where there's more sealer and keep working it back and forth. And that'll help pull all that concrete dust and allow it to stick to the pad. And being as I got quite a bit of sealer on here, I'm going to let it set up a little bit and absorb in. So I can start getting that pulled out. All right, I'm gonna let that dry up a little bit, and then we'll hit it with the buffer. All right, it's been about, I don't know, 4 minutes now, and it started drying up. So what I'm going to do is just start buffering on it with a white pad, and I'm going to stay around the perimeter of it and just slowly start pulling out some of the wet and bringing it out where it's dry. And I've said it many times, this helps it stick to basically to the white pad. So it's going to pull it off your concrete and it'll adhere to the pad. And that'll get rid of all your white streaks and all that fun stuff. But if you wait a day or two, depending on how bad the streaks are, they can become permanent. So you want to make sure that you get them off right away. And you'll see when you do it, when you get into the really wet areas, it's going to start getting milky swirl marks on you, which that's fine. Just, you know, pull it back to the drier areas. And I know it seems like this is like an extremely timely process, but once you get the hang of it and get it down, you can actually do quite a big area. And you can see by doing this that it's starting to already shine up a little bit. But just remember, you don't want to get into the really heavy areas. As soon as if you see it start getting milky white on you, get off of it and get back into the dryer. Kind of dust off that pad, get it dried out a little bit, then get back in there and then pull a little bit more out of it. Kind of see the milky stuff right there that I got generated. So then you just get back here where it's drier, get that pad dried up, and just start pulling a little bit more out of it. Big thing is just kind of watch. Really not too difficult once you get into it. Just don't get in a big hurry. And biggest problem is a lot of people try to do way more in a too big of an area than what they're able to handle before it starts setting up on them. And you cannot do this part of it brooming. You've got to get that dust out of the floor. And you're not going to do that brooming it. One other option you could have is you could rinse the whole thing and using a white pad, and you'll have to go over it a couple times, basically till the water's clear. That'll save you money on sealer. It's going to be a lot more time consuming. Because you're going to have to wait for the floor to dry up before you can start doing any other kind of application on it. just about done with this section. Just a couple little bit of swirls left in there. And there you go. All the swirly marks are out. It's all dried up. Nice and smooth. Well, I just finished buffing this all out. This right over here is that area that had all them swirls in it. This is all dry. I'm walking on it. One thing about this sealer, it isn't like a typical top coating that's solid and uniform. You're going to see all the imperfections from the trowel marks and everything else. But the more you use the sealer, the floor, the better it's going to look and the more uniform it's going to look. So don't base everything off, you know, your first application once you get it done. And once it's all done, you can let it set up for a little while and kind of go over it one more time if you like. It's only going to take so much, so I guess that's about it.